What's up everyone? As we know, Breath of the Wild is filled with all sorts of challenges, and some of these challenges come in the form of a boss, or overworld boss, and they bring all sorts of different challenges to defeat them, from big giant rock monsters to massive sand shark whale things in the Gerudo Desert. Breath of the Wild is filled with all sorts of bosses, which create a bunch of unique challenges and battles in the game. And in this video, I'm going to be going through my top 5 bosses in Breath of the Wild. And I would also like to mention, I wasn't actually going to do this video at first, but I seen one of my favourite YouTubers, the amazing Dr. Wily, do it. So I thought, I guess it's not too late to make this. Anyway, without further ado, here is my top 5 bosses in Breath of the Wild. Alright, so coming in at the opening number 5 spot, we have the mighty Neo Talis. Now, there is multiple variations of this boss in the overworld, but the one I liked the most was indeed the Neo Talis. Now, this overworld boss can be found around Death Mountain, and was a boss I didn't actually know existed until after beating Calamity Ganon. But with my first experience, it took me a while to figure out how to beat it, as with the Talis enemies, you need to climb on top of their backs and attack its core spot, and whack it until they explode into gems. Now, this variation is of course on fire, and after multiple attempts and trying to get very creative, I figured out all you need to do is use ice arrows, and I found this very creative from Nintendo. And this boss did catch me out at first, and that's something I really loved about it. That's why it takes this opening number 5 spot. Now for number 4, we have the Sand Beast King from the second DLC pack, The Champion's Ballad. And at first I was amazed at what a battle this was. Now perhaps this might be because I suck at battling the Molduga, but it's my ranking on how much I enjoyed each battle, and not necessarily how hard it was. And oh, I enjoyed this one. It took me quite a while actually, at least 20 minutes to take it out. And until I remembered I could use bombs to attract it and blow it up, I was struggling. So the King brought in a bit more fight compared to the regular Molduga battles you encounter on your journey. This one just got it really well done for me, and that's why it takes that number 4 spot on this list. And come on, fighting a Molduga for the first time is pretty damn cool. So, coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the final boss itself, Calamity Ganon. Now, despite some of the hate the final boss may get, I really enjoyed the first phase. And no, it's not because it took me 30 minutes because I forgot how to shield parry. Anyway, Calamity Ganon creates a really epic start to the battle, from breaking down into the depths of the castle to shooting lasers all across the battle room. Calamity Ganon is just an epic battle and has a bunch of different attacks that for the first time can be really challenging and extremely intimidating, such as firing beams at you, using his many weapons, and along with this, the epic music makes for a really good battle. Now, I'm not personally a huge fan of the second phase, but it is pretty cool in all fairness, so no, I don't think it sucks completely, as it was a good ending to the boss battle. But overall, the battle with Calamity Ganon was just really epic, and I don't know if it's just me, but before going into big boss battles like that, I always get a little intimidated, and Calamity Ganon really got me, with that screaming roar to the face right before the battle begins. Anyway, moving on to number 2. So this boss is one of the Blights, and I think we all know which one. It would be pretty shocking if I didn't choose this Blight. And if you guessed right, yup, it's Thunderblade. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the Divine Beasts personally, but I really liked the boss to this one, as Thunderblade was a real challenge to me. From his sharp, agile attacks to his thunderous strikes of lightning, he was by far my favourite of the Blights. He begins his battle with some simple attacks towards you, which is easy enough, but once you bring him down to half health, damn, he gets aggressive. He will then start slamming down metal pillars to try and catch you in lightning attacks, and you must use your Magnesis rune to shock him and quickly run over to him and attack him. Then there is actually a sort of third stage to this, where he will attack you with very quick and sharp attacks, which you must time pretty much perfectly to dodge. And man, this battle was so hard on Master Mode, it took me so damn long. This boss was by far my favourite for so long, but it has been overtook with some long hard thinking, and I think you'll be surprised actually with the number 1 spot. Alright, so my favourite boss in Breath of the Wild is Master Koga. Yup, that's right. He is such a challenging boss. I'm just messing with you guys. Of course it's not Koga. Of course, my favourite boss battle is the new boss in the DLC, Sheikah Monk Maz Koshcha. That boss fight was so damn good. Now, yes, it wasn't as much as I would have liked, but it was a damn good battle. And even before the battle starts, it's so epic. Who would have thought a Sheikah Monk? That moment when he moves his fingers puts you off right away, and it gave me chills. Then you're warped into a floating arena, like what? Then the battle itself begins. Now, he can do all sorts of stuff, such as similar moves to the Yiga clan members, cloning himself, growing in size, throwing objects, laser beams, and even crazy tactics such as tilting the platform. Now, all of these moves create a very, very challenging battle, and from what I've heard, on Master Mode, this has took some people up to an hour. A whole hour on one boss, just because he regenerates his health and how skilled and agile he is. Maz Koshcha is indeed my favourite boss in Breath of the Wild, mainly due to the insane challenge he creates, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree. And of course you get a freaking bike at the end. Well, that's my top 5 Breath of the Wild bosses. I'm interested to know what your top 5 bosses are in the game, so be sure to leave them below in the comments. And this is my first top 5 video in a while, so I will work to make more of them more frequently, as I still have my top 10 Zelda games list to do, now that we know Breath of the Wild is a complete game. As always, be sure to join the Discord server if you haven't already, it's always a chill time in there. And I hope you all had a great Christmas, I know I did, and hope you all have a great day or night wherever you are, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.